She marched right up my old wooden steps and said, "My son will take this cabin next month. So start packing." I didn't even know her name, but she acted like she owned my whole mountain. Her voice echoed through the forest as she pointed at the carved porch railings like they were already hers. I just stared at her, wondering why a stranger was claiming a place my great-grandfather built with his own hands 150 years ago. She didn't blink. She slapped a folded paper on my door and said, "This is an HOA notice. You're illegally occupying our property." I almost laughed. There's no HOA within 20 miles of this land, but she stood there like she was delivering a court order. My dog growled at her and she yelled, "Control that animal or I'll have him removed too." Removed? From my own land? Something in my chest tightened. This wasn't confusion anymore. It felt like a setup. She leaned closer and whispered, "If you resist, I'll bring people who can make you leave." The way she said people made my stomach drop. It wasn't a threat. It was a promise. And for the first time, I realized she wasn't crazy. She was planning something bigger, something dangerous. I kept quiet because I already knew something she didn't, but I wasn't ready to show my card yet. She returned the next morning before sunrise, but she wasn't alone this time. A black SUV rolled up behind her, and two men stepped out wearing matching jackets with shiny badges that looked wrong, too clean, too new. They didn't introduce themselves. They didn't even look at me, just walked straight toward my cabin, like they already owned it. Karen folded her arms and smirked like she had brought the entire law with her. One of the men said, "Sir, this structure will be transferred to the rightful inheritor today. Vacate immediately." Rightful inheritor? Her son wasn't even there. And these guys didn't talk like real officers. They talked like people pretending. I asked for their names and the taller one snapped, "Names aren't necessary for an eviction." Eviction on private mountain land? My great-grandfather's deed was locked in a metal box just a few steps behind me. The men brushed past my shoulder and headed toward the cabin door like they were about to break it open. Karen whispered loudly, "Don't bother arguing. They know the law." "You don't." She was enjoying this too much. The kind of joy people get when they think they've finally crushed someone. And then the shorter man reached down for my door handle and froze. A red light blinked on the edge of my porch. My hidden trail cameras, motion-activated, recording everything. He turned toward Karen and muttered, "You didn't say he had surveillance." Her face dropped for the first time. "Delete it," she hissed. But they couldn't. The cameras didn't store footage in the cabin. They streamed it straight to my phone and to a cloud server my brother set up. I pulled out my phone slowly. "Keep going," I said quietly. "Let the camera see everything." The men stepped back. Karen swallowed hard. Something cracked in her confidence, like she finally realized she wasn't playing with some helpless mountain hermit. Because the truth was, this land wasn't all I had. I had something else. Something that would end her entire game the moment I showed it. The moment they backed away, Karen tried one last push. "Fine," she snapped. "My son will inherit this place. The original owner promised it to our family. You're just squatting here. Squatting. On land my family guarded for a century and a half." I didn't argue. I just walked inside, opened the old metal box, and came back out with a single folded paper. The edges were yellow, the ink still sharp. The original deed, signed, stamped, recorded, and transferred through every generation. Down to me. I held it up and said, "Your son doesn't inherit anything. My family built this cabin before your family even moved to this state." The two fake officers leaned in, read the seal, and instantly panicked. Their badges weren't even shining anymore. They looked like cheap metal bought online. One of them muttered, "We're done," and rushed back to the SUV. Karen grabbed the deed like she was trying to tear history apart, but I pulled it back before she touched it. She screamed something about calling real authorities, but she didn't get the chance because the real sheriff's truck came rolling up the hill. He had already seen the camera footage I sent. He stepped out, stared at Karen, and said, "Ma'am, you're under arrest for trespassing, harassment, and bringing fake officers onto private land." Her legs gave out. The sheriff cuffed her while she kept whispering, but this cabin was supposed to be ours." I looked at the old wood, the mountains behind it, the quiet air my family lived in for generations. "No," I said quietly. It was never yours. Karen was taken away, still arguing, still pointing at the cabin like it was her destiny. The fake officers were caught 2 days later. Her son never showed up, not once. And me? I fixed the porch rail, fed my dog, and sat on the steps of the cabin that would stay in my family forever. Some people fight for land because they want power, but some of us, we fight because it's home. The end. Please, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing HOA stories.